Good morning, if it's morning where you are. My screen is acting oddly. Okay, so hello, it is Saturday, November the 21st. It's 9:30 in the morning in the Eastern time zone, and I have planned to do some numerology today, which I have to tell you just always doing these always makes me happy, whether I'm doing cards, numerology, or something else. Numerology today I'm just really excited about. This is a fascinating time numerologically as we're coming to the end of this 4 year, getting ready for a 5 year. Four is about foundational energy and setting down the base on which to build. Goodness knows we've had a year of finding new circumstances upon which to build, and next year we get to start that expansion. 5 is about expansion, adapting and adjusting to new conditions. It's about progressing. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And for each of us, of course, we have our individual cycles that we're working through. And today, if you give me your birth date in the comments, I will briefly play to just give you an idea. It's very easy for me to go off on tangents, and I will apologize ahead of time. So I'm thinking 9:30 is early here in my time zone. I have every faith that people in other time zones, where it is a little bit later, are going to show up. And in the meantime, what can I talk about? I'm going to be using these cards that are this number grid. It is the 9 digits put into a like a tic-tac-toe square, and in a completely logical manner, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Regina, hello, so good to see you. Lorianne, hello, good to see you too. You've good, nice. All right, so I'm doing numerology. If you would like for me to mess with you, just put your date of birth into the comments. If you don't want to put the year, that's absolutely fine. I can just pull out the where you are in your 9-year cycle from your day and month. Kathleen, hello. Wow, everybody's up and about. All right. Okay, the 12th of October and or the 10th of December. I guess it doesn't totally matter. Regina, you're so good. And Kathleen, I do know your numbers, I think, a little bit. Okay, so Regina, this year is a 4, so you're in an 8 personal year this year for 2020, which means there has been a call on you to find balance. Hello, Eileen. How lovely. Oh my gracious, everybody's here. I'm talking to Regina, who this year has been finding balance, and in 2021, which is very close to us, let's face it, you are going to have a year where things get completed, where things get concluded. If you've got projects you've been working on, that kind of thing, you're gonna get to the end. You get to send the manuscript to the publisher, right? You come to the natural conclusion of the projects that you're with. It can also be a time when you are choosing to draw a line under things. If you've got things in your life that aren't working, during a 9, you can go, okay, that's it. It's over. I'm done now. Finished. And you can move forward without that that burden. Okay, who gave me a date next? Regina, Kathleen, Kathleen. Oh, I do. Your number is just something else. So this year you're in a 6. So next year you're going into a 7, which is very cool. 7 is the teacher. It is the it is the it's like if teaching is a coin, one side is teaching, the other side is learning. And whatever you do, when you're teaching, you are also learning about how you teach. You're learning. They say we teach what we need to learn the most, right? So as you are deliberately teaching stuff, you're having to process and learn about how you have internalized information, how you have processed it, how you have synthesized new systems, which I know is something you do. Um, but also when you're deliberately learning, when you're attending a class or you're in a webinar or you've gone somewhere to get new information, in the act of doing that, you're also teaching other people what it looks like to be a learner, what a student looks like, how respectfully questioning the information looks, how new things, new ideas can be formulated out of old information. And I know you, and I know that you both teach and learn all day every day. Absolutely. And 2021 is going to be a year of a lot of that. And I know where I would like to see that go, but that's for another conversation, and that's really cool. All right. Eileen. Okay, a 9 and a 2 and a 0 and a 1 and a 9 and a 5 and a 6. I know this about you. You have the line of determination as no, I'm yes. Sorry, I'll be fine. All of us who were born in the 50s, we got this. Um, the ability, the 5 gives us the ability to adapt and change and sort of roll with the changes, and a good thing, because the world has changed so much since the 50s. Every time we turned around, there was new stuff going on. And oh, Regina, that's so interesting. We must talk. You must make an appointment. Good Lord, Regina. We have to stop meeting like this. I'm fascinated to know more about your life. Eileen is okay, your total is a 5. So you're just really adaptable and available to the evolution of society and to the way that everything has changed, whether it's the technology that we're using every day, the information that we're using with it, or um, the your ability. And I know you have a wonderful ability for retaining information and for recalling it when you need to. That is just natural. That is in your very substance. You're in this year 2020, you're in a 6. I'm sure I've told you that before. So serving the community, serving the people whose lives you touch, and that doesn't have to be directly, that can be the outward ripples of what you do. um, you're also this year, there's a call for you to connect with beauty, and I don't know how that is manifesting. Maybe through some of your family, the way your family has come together and is connecting in different ways online. I don't know for sure, but there's an identification of the beauty of life that has come to you this year that is really, really nice. And then next year, you're like Kathleen, you're going into a seven, you've got this learning and teaching, and I don't know as much about your daily life as I do about Kathleen's. Certainly that people learn from you is a certainty. I know I learn from you in my interactions with you, and that is so progressive, both for your personality and for the world, because you are who you are. People benefit from that, and that is a really, really cool thing. Okay, the next birth date I see is Lorianne. That's a 3 and a 0 and a 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 9 and a 5 and a 5. So again, that line of determination. Um, 3, you have a lot of, I see restlessness in that 55. There's a real, um, and I know you've had a hard time adapting to the stillness of quarantine and isolation. And that just natural desire to be on the move is very much part of who you are. Oh, you've got karmic stuff going on. I didn't know that about you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're you. I remembered a group event that you were at. I do not remember how powerful your numbers are. I just, because I don't. It comes through me and it's gone. This is an awesome date, Laurie. This is so cool. I like it. So 3 and 2 and 4. You're at the end of a cycle right now. This 2020 has been a 9 year. So you're coming to natural endings. You're fully supported in declaring endings. If there are situations that you just want them to be over, that's all right. You're allowed to do that, and spirit will support that as you come to your place of going, that's it, no more. You state your case, you move on, and there won't be any that's just kind of how it is, how it it's how the universe has planned this, is for you to be able to walk away from things that aren't serving you. Who am I talking to? Lori. Okay, so this means that 2021 you're moving into a one vibration. So there's new beginnings, there are new opportunities, there's a chance for you to initiate new projects. There's original ideas that are coming through you, and one as an originating energy. So you get to be the one who says, let's start this. And however that goes, um, again, you're supported. This is the way your schedule is arranged. You have this line of determination that everybody born in the 50s has it. So if you're here and you were born in the 50s, you can listen. Or if you were born in the last century in May, you've got this, a 1 and a 5 and a 9 in your date. Um, these are people who take their time to find what it is that they're going to do with their lives. They're not, our parents and our grandparents' generation, and if we go further back, you were just kind of born into a lineage of my family are carpenters, and you're in the workshop and learning how to do it when you're 7 years old, right? And you just there was a laid out path. The children of the 50s, whatever remnants of those ideas of following in the footsteps, or doing what grandma thinks you should do, those had very much begun to dissipate. But the children of the 50s are the ones who just went, not interested, don't care, absolutely not going to follow anybody's footsteps, going to find my own path. And that meant that we spent some time looking around to see what the different paths were. And we got accused of being drifters, and we got accused of being lazy. We were not the favorites of the adults of the time. I need your birth date, Lori. Um, but it meant that we absolutely broke that cycle, and the 159 line is about after we have found what it is that we want, oh, we're unstoppable. It's called the line of determination, because once we've found it, you cannot stop us. We will do what we need to do to get to where we've decided we're going. And that's, it's a lovely line, and it's a wonderful energy that we that whole teach by learning thing and learn by teaching, we have shown the world what it means to find our heart's desire, to connect with our intended path, and to forge ahead. And it doesn't it doesn't necessarily fit with the old patterns. It isn't all about becoming a real estate mogul or having what's been defined as success in the capitalist patriarchy, but it does mean finding success in terms of our own soul growth and our ability to surround ourselves with people who respect and love us, our ability to give to the community in ways that impact and again have that ripple going outwards that we may never see, but they are there. All right, so Lori with an AU, I see you at October. Okay, so that's a 7 and a 1 and a 1. You've got karmic stuff going on too. 2, 5, 1, 0, 1, 9, 6, 3. Oh, this is I don't remember this about you, Laurie, and I know that I did. Um, I've done your I think I've done your chart. I know we've had sessions. 2020, you're in a 3-year. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay, so I'm going to talk about your grid because it's really very cool the way that your numbers line up in the grid. So you've got the 1, 2, 3 line, which is the line of organization. You have the 3, 6, 9 line, which is the line of synthesis, the ability to bring things together. 3 is creativity, absolutely. And inspiration, which, where does the creative urge come from? We are inspired, right? This is the line of synthesis where you can bring things from different sources and put them together and create something new and be able to explain difficult concepts or make a cake out of a pound of butter and a jar of Frank's hot sauce, whatever. You can do it. You find ways to put things together and make them work. And you've got the 159, even though, why do you have that? Because you're born on the 25th. So you again have had that conscious search for your correct path, right? Yeah, I'm gonna categorize that very differently. So yeah, your creative year, and you have had to do a lot of creative thinking. I know, adapting to changing situations and a whole bunch of stuff. Laurie with an AU. So you have had to sometimes follow your inspiration, sometimes actually work through what it is that's going on. And in 2021, you're going to be in a 4 personal year, which is that laying down a foundation. It's that setting the base for going forward, which after all the changes of this year, it will be in some ways a bit of a pause. There should be a little less of the surprises and the impulses and the appalling not even accidents, but just totally unexpected stuff that has been thrown at you. Next year, what will be thrown at you is really practical stuff. So there may be there may be legal documents that you've got to sort out, and leases and contracts and details, and I don't know what your plans are, but meeting with protocols. And are you still in school? There's going to be like prerequisites that you have to meet and hoops you've got to jump through. That's what four energy is like. It's very practical, and it's very detail oriented. And I don't have any fours in my name or my date, and I have had to learn a little bit to put structure on things. I'm still not good at it. So for me, that feels like a really heavy energy. For somebody who is okay working with fours, that's all right, and I'm sure you're fine. But I know you well enough that I think I know that you would maybe feel some of that. Ian, lovely to see you. Okay. You are in school, so you are jumping through hoops, and that's kind of what four energy does. Okay, good to see you, Ian. Oh, I remember this date. This is a good date. Oh yeah, you are so psychic. I love. Yeah, you're just all sevens, and I know you're multitudes of 11s, and you're so this year 4 and 3 and 4. You're in a 2 years, so there have been new relationships. You're in school too, I happen to know. Um, Also, just readjusting how we relate to one another during this time. It's 2 2 1 2 1 9 7 1. So you've got the 7 and the 9, profoundly profoundly psychic and insightful and intuitive and tuned in, and I hope you do get the chance to develop that even more, because awesome energy, Ian. I really, really like it. You're here to teach. You're here learning, and you're teaching, and you every day people are benefiting from the fact that you are here in the human realm, and that's just delightful. You have the line up through the center where it's blank because you don't have any fours, fives, or sixes. That is called the line of dissatisfaction. I think it's dissatisfaction or disappointment. It's a bad name. I'm going to rename it one of these days. Um, what it is a refusal to accept things as being at face value, being at you're not ever going to just sit down and go, oh, okay, this is what it is. Fine. I will sit here now and eat my cookie and knit my sweater, whatever. You are always on the lookout for something else. You're always just that little bit dissatisfied with what you can see, and you want to go and find more. So that I always resort to the story that if we're all here having a party together and we're all having a good time and everything's great, and you're having a good time, Ian, it's not that there's anything wrong, except that you have a curiosity, you have a willingness to go looking because you figure there might be something more, there might be something better. And you're the one who goes to the corner and looks around it and finds the circus and comes back and tells us we can move the party to the circus. It's going to be even better, and we all going to benefit and have such a good time because you were not willing to just stay still. You wanted to go find more, find better, find bigger, find more excitement, find whatever. And that's what you do in all of your life. You don't just sit in the corner and observe and accept. You're a seeker with a capital S. You go and find those things that will improve everybody's experience as well as your own. You don't keep it to yourself. You didn't go around the corner and find the circus and go, oh, well, to heck with everybody else. You came back and told us about it, right? You share and you teach that number 7 birth force, that teacher that is just who you are, and the example that you set, and the openness that you bring now as an adult, and the the loving kindness that flows through you, Ian. I know your energy is just delightful. And in 2021, you are going to be in a three personal year. This year has been about relationships, about the new people you're meeting and the new ways that you're meeting people and meeting with people like this. Um 2021 you're moving into a three, so there's that creativity, there's that spirit inspiring you and using you as a channel to bring things into the physical world, and that whether that's designs for a bookshelf or it's algorithms or it's how you interpret the techniques that you're learning in school, or it's there's going to be new ways that the world benefits from what is happening with Ian, right? So that's being ready for that, being prepared for that, and feeling really, you can feel really rooted in the fact that you are right when you have an insight or a hunch or a yeah, an intuition about something. Know that you are right. Your spirit knows, and you know, and your if you have names, I don't know what your names are for any unseen guidance that you have, whether it's ancestors or guardians or whatever. Getting to the quiet place where you can connect with that wisdom will be so correct, and it'll feel correct, you will know. And when you share it, everybody will benefit from that, and that is just so cool. Love that. All right, has anybody else come in since Ian? I don't see anybody. All right, I haven't had a comment now for 5 minutes. So maybe that's just because I was ranting, or maybe there's something wrong with my connection. I get so afraid of this. Um, I have had days when there were technological troubles. So I hope if you're out there, please say hello. If you're new here, giving me a birth date will let me. Oh, it's not long till your birthday, Ian. That's kind of cool. Um, All right. Oh, okay. Ascended Master. Okay. All right. Yes. By any other name is still a help, right? This is good. Nice to know that you're still here. Uh I hope we can connect again soon. Is this a better time for you, Ian? I'm since May I really haven't explored any different time slots apart from the Friday afternoon. Okay, I can do Ben. Of course I can do Ben. Absolutely. 2608. 92. I still want 92-year-olds. Yeah, I still want the children of 92. Oh, 8 and 8. Hello. Um, I want them to be babies and children, and they're really not if they're born in 92. However. Okay, so 16, 17, 18, 19. So this is a one birth force with a lot of, until the age of 35, there's a whole lot of karmic stuff going on. So 92, 102, 112, 122. So we're still in it until, what did I say? 35. So until 2027. There is really intense, the people and the situations that are present in Ben's life are indicative of a past life or alternate life, parallel life energy that needs some closure. And okay, all right, that's good to know. That's good to know, Ian, because I'm thinking maybe. All right, so Ben has a line down through his 3 and 5 and 7, and that is the line of the skeptic. I don't know if he's there watching with you, but um, this wouldn't be his first choice of how to spend a Saturday afternoon. because he doesn't really believe in a lot of this stuff, and that's all right. Because during these first 35 years, he is learning a whole lot of other stuff. There's a certain amount of these people he came to who have been his first family and his first teachers and first romances and all of those beginnings that happen when you're under 35. Everything is fresh and new and first. um, there has been emotional baggage around it. um, there's been karmic lessons that needed to be completed, and that's Ben's own, and it's the people who have been around Ben. He has come to teach them as much as he has come to learn from them, right? But he doesn't yet, he's because he's a baby. He doesn't yet necessarily believe in the big spiritual framework that I work within. um, there's just this skepticism about anybody's system, and he's never ever going to take on somebody else's dogma just fully fledged, read a book and believe it and live his life accordingly. That's not how Ben's brain works at all. He's always going to want to see evidence. He's going to want to see how things actually show up in his own life, and as time goes on, he's going to see that, because that does happen. Let's face it. He came to people who taught him to um, not to assert himself too much, not to. He's been trained to be very considerate, which is not a bad thing in any stretch. The balance on that, the tightrope that he walks, is around being polite and being kind and expressing community feeling for fellow creatures without losing a sense of himself. It's not about giving himself away. And the two twos, and he the day and the year each have a two in them. He Some people who have two twos slide into some people pleasing, and especially where there's only one in the whole date, which is his sense of himself. So as a young person, he may have sometimes given up some of his power and let other people take a lead, and sort of sat back, not because it was their turn to take a lead, but because of a sense of insecurity. And the two nines born in the 90s, these children have had such a spiritually powerful experience. Nine is one of the spiritual numbers. It's about the interconnection of all things. It's that holistic energy. And with two of them, there's an innate understanding of how important their own impact can be on the world. They know at some level, maybe not consciously with the same words I would use, but they know that if they buy the $2 shoes or the £2 shoes, there's going to be a child in a sweatshop somewhere making shoes, right? And they know that their individual choices and their behavior has an impact far beyond their own living room and their own community. So sometimes the children of the 90s get very concerned because they don't want to do anything negative. They don't want there to be a kid in the sweatshop. They don't want anybody to get hurt. They don't anybody to be exploited because of them. And they kind of withdraw, and we see anxiety in a lot of 90s young people, and we see that, and it's coming from a place of not wanting to harm, but without necessarily the skills that are necessary to move forward in a non-harming way, right? So there's, again, finding that balance, and I hope Ben has found it. I hope, and if not, he's found you, and you will help. However that goes. um lovely, the six, which is a serving humanity, and the eight, which is the balance and the symmetry, the fairness, the yeah, and the flow. of divine energy that is coming to him, whether or not he believes that, because he's still a skeptic. But that's coming. So this year, 8 and 8 is, so he's at the end of a cycle. Is he at the end of a cycle? He can't be. 8 and 8 is 8 and 8 makes 5. I've done some wrong math, because if I've got him at 2027 at the end of this cycle, then he shouldn't be at the end of the cycle now. I don't know. Too fast, too far. So it would be, that would mean it would be 2029. 2 plus 5 is never 9. That can't be. I don't know what I've done wrongly there. 8, 8, 4 is 3 plus 8. Oh, okay. All right. No. 5. 16 is 7. God, I'll be fine. 8 plus 8 is 5. What a twit. He's been in a 2 this year. He's going into a 3. That's better. That makes much more sense. I was going to say, I've had that already. That's where you were, wasn't it, Ian? You're in a 2 going into a 3. So you're very aligned with Ben. You're both at the same place on your personal cycle. So that's really kind of cool. You are at very different places, I think, on your age, but that's all right too. There's only so much sameness that we will tolerate in our lives, right? That's fascinating. Okay, well, welcome, Ben, if you're there. That's very cool. Nice, nice, nice. Is anybody else there? I haven't seen. Okay, it's good to know that people in the UK are finding this to be a good time. I moved this time because of Pooja and somebody, Irsa responded earlier to my post that I was going to be here, but she isn't here. Because they are in their evening where they are, and they were staying up until midnight for my Fridays. Since I brought in the Saturday morning, they haven't shown up, which is a little odd, but that's all right. If other people are benefiting, I'm good with that. Oh, you know the other thing that I had, and I put it in my picture for my tweet. Okay, you're welcome, Ian. I'm gonna draw a number rune I'll do one for you and then one for Ben, and if anybody else wants one, we can. These are beautiful little runes that I have. Okay, this is for Ian. Ian, oh, you have a 5. That sounds right, doesn't it? The change and growth and expansion, that kind of fits with you going and finding the circus for us. All right, and then for Ben, okay, Ben has a 2, so this is relationship number. This is his relationship. This is his personal year is a 2 this year, so suggests that there is an alignment, that there is stuff going on that makes complete sense. Is Kathleen still here? I'm going to draw one for Kathleen, and I'll just tell her what it is if she's, and anybody else who's here. If you're here and you would like me to do your numbers, put the birth date in, and you're welcome, Ian. You're always welcome. I love it when you show up. I do. Okay, so I'm drawing a rune for Kathleen. Oh, hello, Cheryl Pinto. I certainly will. Okay, for Kathleen. Kathleen, if you're here, and if you're not, you got the number 7, the teacher. Imagine that. You can just rewind the video and see what I said to you as it was. Okay, Cheryl, I 21 of the 2 of the 1983. So definitely a oh, you've got karmic energy going on too. So a 1 birth force, you're an originator and a beginner and an initiator and a oh, and you're very organized, which is nice. That 1, 2, 3 line that you have is a line of organization. These are the children who organize their bookshelves in their bedroom by starting by size or by color, and then they learn the alphabet and start alphabetizing. Right? It's the people who bring order to the chaos of the world are people with that line. It's a wonderful marketable skill. And as I understand, 83, it's maybe people another decade or so younger than you, but the young ones coming up who've got this line are absolute computer whizzes. And actually, you might be, because 83 computers were they were growing along with you. So yeah, wonderful skill. So 3, 4, 4, 7. So wow, this is so interesting. 2020, you have been in a 2. So if you, if you go back and listen to the video, Ian was in a 2 and his friend Ben is in a 2. It's been a year of new and changed relationships, which of course because of COVID is the way we're relating to one another is completely different. And yeah, prior to March, I was not doing Facebook Live. You can bet that. Prior to April, I didn't have Zoom, and those are the ways now primarily that I meet with clients, that I meet with my friends, that I that I visit with my family. Um, yeah. So, and for you, I would suggest there are probably new relationships in your life this year, and that's part of your plan. That's very cool and very good. 2021, which is coming very quickly, you will shift into a 3 vibration, which is your creativity, your point of inspiration, where new things that exist in the cosmos, but they're not in the human experience yet, they get to channel through you, to flow through you into the world. So new ideas, new new designs, new algorithms, new oil paintings, new manuscripts, whatever it may be, you are bringing concepts about things flowing. You have the 8, born in the 80s. You have a good vibration that attracts finances. If you're just saying finances if possible, you're not saying, and that's all right. I would, if finances are possible, it could be, if you look at some of the teachings of Abraham Hicks around financial prosperity and abundance, that the greatest problem is that we get into our own way, that we believe we don't, that we can't access it, and for as long as we're saying, there's not enough money, there's not enough money, then that's the vibration we send out, is about not enough money, and as a result we manifest not enough money. So it may be that if you're not feeling the flow, if the money isn't flowing to you, you may need to shift a little bit into a gratitude for the money that you do have, and then you can get excited about how you have all the money you need, and money comes to you from places expected and unexpected, and open up that flow, because that 8 will flow it. um, I I in a 3 year, inspired ideas that are going to pay off in financial ways is very possible. You're going to come up with the solution to a problem that people are willing to pay for to have it solved, or you're going to express your individual viewpoint in ways that people are willing to pay for, that whether oil paintings, designed for a bookshelf, a new way to cook rutabaga, whatever it is, there's something that can come through you. And again, it's about getting out of the way, because if you have a new idea and you go, oh well, that's silly, and you don't follow through on it, then obviously it cannot expand into your experience and benefit the world. So getting out of your way, if you have a quiet practice, Cheryl, if you can, whether it's about meditation or prayer, or riding your bike until you're in the zone, or hugging trees, whatever it is, getting into that place where you can access your own deep wisdom, because you do have it. We all have it. There's only we are all infinite and immortal and timeless beings, and we've fitted what we could of ourselves into these physical bodies, but there's so much more that is still connected, but we have to get quiet and get centered and be available again, getting out of our own way, right? Getting away from the noise and the rush and the worry and the whatever, and just getting in and connecting to that wisdom to know what the next step might be. So I don't know if that helps, but I hope it does. This next year, for sure, there's going to be inspirational stuff. These 3 2s, and wow, you really. Why am I reading it as 3 2s? Just a minute. I've got 21 February. Okay, so no, it's only 2 2s, but that's quite enough. The 2 2s are again, can lead to a little bit of people pleasing when you're really young, and doing what you think other people want instead of what you want. And as you get older and can take ownership of it being perfectly all right for you to have desires, for you to walk your own path and not go off on a detour because that's what'll make the people next door happy. Um, you getting getting into Cheryl's soul, and feeling complete within yourself, so that you don't have to keep dancing into your own path to change stuff. Does that make sense? There's yeah, they're lovely numbers, and if you're using them, if you're able to live up to them, they're just delightful. Although you do, not an although, and you have um so this is till you're 35. So from age 35 to age 44, which are we past that? 83, 93, 103, 113, 123. Okay, so you're still in it. You're in an incredible 9 year cipher energy, where, oh, this is so interesting. There are teachers who teach, and this is funny, this came up yesterday too. There are some teachers who teach that we carry forward vows and promises that we made in other dimensions, in other timelines, in what used to be called previous lives. If at some point you have taken a vow of poverty, either to be a religious person, or to in some way offer service to some system greater than yourself, it could be that poverty vow has followed you into this lifetime and is still expressing itself in how things manifest. And between the ages of 35 and 44 is your peak time to work through the lessons and the leftovers from those other lifetimes. So it could very well be that this is the time for you to reconnect with whoever that was who made a vow, believing that their individual poverty was going to enrich the rest of the world in some way. And wherever they were living and whatever they were doing, no doubt that worked and that was fine. It doesn't work in 2020 for you. And so reconnecting with that sense of how to serve the greater community, how to serve the system. We know that the more that financial abundance flows through you, the more it comes to you, the more you can spend and make the world better, the more you can support your community, the more you can give away to people who need it. You get to channel it. The more it's not about hoarding, but the more that you can flow to you, then the more can flow out from you. And as you shift your understanding of how to serve the greater community so that the flow happens, then you can open up the flow. Is that making any sense at all? I'm going to have to watch this video later and see if it does. So from ages 35 to 44, Cheryl, that is when you are meeting and working through the 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 lessons and the learnings from other lifetimes that you have lived. That's very interesting. I've never thought of it like that. Okay. All right. Is there anybody else here? I know. I will, since I'm, whoops. Oh, my screen just went weird. There. Okay. That was odd. Okay, so while I'm still talking to you, Cheryl, presuming that you're still here, I'm going to draw a number rune for you. And if there's anybody else who would like a number rune, oh, isn't that lovely? Okay, so you have drawn the number 9, and that is, of course, completion. So you can, the message there, I would say, following on, would be you can complete the experience of being impoverished. It's finished, it's done. Draw a line under it. That's over, and now the flow is open, and you're willing to accept it. Okay, good. I'm glad. You are welcome. All right, I like that. Okay, who else is still here? Is anybody still here? I don't want to draw Kathleen. Kathleen and I are really good friends, so I'm happy to tell her later what her thing was. I will pull a rune for you, Eileen. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're all mixed up in there. Okay, this is for Eileen. And this is, oh, that's nice. You got the number 3. I can't remember what was going on in your chart. But 3 is the point of inspiration. It's the point of creativity. It's the universe speaking through you, bringing new things into the physical world. That's really nice. I like that. This is where is Eileen? I know she's 1956, 3, 6. What did I just say? Okay, so yeah, you don't have a lot of 3s. 1956 is a 3 year, so that's a little bit connected, but it's a reminder, I guess, to that connection, being open to whatever flows through. I love that you're still here, Eileen. Thank you so much for staying. It's really nice. And it's, wow, it's 25 past 10 in my house. That's amazing. This hour has gone very quickly. I love numerology. I really do. Okay. Is anybody here? It has been my experience on Fridays that often people come in the last 5 minutes, and that's fine. I'm here. I will do what needs to be done. Okay, I guess I could pull a rune for the community for people. Oh, I should be doing my commercials, shouldn't I? Um, www.joleath.com, JOLEATH. All of my everythings are there. There's 8 years worth of blogs, all sorts of information about numerology, about cards. You can purchase the card deck that I created and hid. Here we go. Wonderful oracle cards called The Wisdom of the Garden Path. They're available on my website. And I often read with those. I mostly read with those on my Facebook Lives, which happen on Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern and Saturday at 9:30 Eastern. While you're on my website, you can purchase gift certificates for gift giving. You can arrange to book a private appointment with me so we can get into really some deep learning and knowing about your life. You can, what else can you do on my website? You can learn a whole lot. Oh, you can sign up for my newsletter, which is a wonderful thing. If you are watching this on Facebook Live, where we still are now, this is on the Exploring Paths to Cosmic Wisdom page. Please like and follow it so that you will know when I'm back again. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and check out the Facebook and the website and sign up for the newsletter so that you'll know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. All right, is that it? Is that the commercial break? I'm going to draw a rune for the community as a whole, people watching the video later who are not here now. Oh, and we have number 6, which is the number of community service, of beauty and humanitarian caring and connection. Ultimately, yeah, it's the community number for the community, which is gathered around this moment, which is rather cool. Very nice. I like that. Being in 6 means serving the greater good. So expressing meeting the responsibilities that come to you in life, and even when, because the other side of meeting responsibilities is sometimes that feels a bit like doing a duty, which is the only difference is about the attitude with that, right? But sometimes as we perform our duties, we can find the place within them that flows that loving kindness that is the very fabric of life, right? Is that, yeah. Six is a lovely energy, and 2022 we're gonna be all 6 all year long. So being in that preparing for and anticipating that energy where community connection is front and center. That's rather a lovely thing. I like that. Yay, 6. Cool. All right. I'm showing that I'm at 58 minutes and more. So if there's anybody else here with anything else to ask or offer or share, your time is short because I am going to hit the end button soon. But I'll give you a minute. The timing seems to be not bad. Sometimes on Fridays I have an awful lag between when people type and when I see it, but today seems to be good. And actually the last couple of Fridays have been good. I'm not going to call in nastiness. Alrighty. What else can we talk about? This month, November, that 11 is a very powerful, a powerful number. And if you look on the Facebook page where this is being recorded, I've put a link to a magazine called Beautiful Life. And the November issue is linked. And if you go into there, there's an article that I wrote called The Power of 11. So you can learn even more if you care. And I know if Ian, if you're still here, I know you're cuckoo for 11, and that's good. Um, so yeah, 11th month, anticipating the energy of 4 year, 11 months, or 2 months, because we add the one and the one sometimes. Um, the energy this month has been 6. And in January, a 5 year with a 1 month, that's going to be a 6. So there's this lovely little hop and a skip where November, December go 6 and 7, and then January and February go 6 and 7. So there's a way we can begin to prepare very seriously for the energies of the new year, no matter how different they're going to be, because 4 and 2 is very different from 5 and 1. Except it isn't. Except it is, right? Does that make any sense at all? I am, oh, it says it's an hour now. Okay, 10:31. I am leaving. I think maybe everybody's gone. Thank you so much. Irsa! Oh my goodness. This is why I've been sitting talking to myself, I guess. Hello. You're coming in at the very, very end. Have we made a mistake on the time zone? I'm so glad you're here. I Oh dear. Doing numerology, Irsa. Or I will do whatever. What do you need? Okay. When will your life get stable? When? Your May? Oh, that's so interesting. You've got that 159 line. You need, Irsa, to go back. Oh, you're welcome, Ian. No, you don't have to be sorry, Irsa. I'm just really glad you made it in before I hit the end button. That's so good. Um, Ian, thank you for being here. Thank you for staying so long. It is lovely. It's Kate. You don't need to make excuses, Irsa. It's all right. Next time for sure. I was sitting here talking for no reason, thinking I was talking to an empty room, but I guess I knew enough to stay, and that's really good. 2 8s make 7. So yeah, this is good. 8 and 5, 4. So you're in an 8 year 2020, right? 1 7 5 1 9 9 2. You are very psychic, Irsa. Do you know that? You're another young one. Well, I'm so glad that you came in, because another 30 seconds I would have been gone. So I'm delighted that we made the connection. That's so cool. So this year you have been in an 8 year. So hopefully there has been some flow, that 8, it is the unseen coming into the scene. It is the cosmic energy. It's the in breath and the out breath. It's all of that lovely balance that defines human life. There is you're here to be a teacher. Do you know that? Are you aware of that? When will your life get stable? Oh my. There's a big change when you're 28. So when is that? 92. 92, 102, 112. Oh, hello. You're coming into it. You're coming into a big change. So, oh dear, I need a different piece of paper here, because I'm going to do some calculation. All right, let us see. We have 8 and 5 and 3. Okay, so we have from birth to age, okay, 29. Did I say 29? I said 28, but I meant I never got any proposal in my life. Do you think I am less attractive? No, I think you are beautiful, absolutely. And there's oh there's an hour's worth of conversation that I could give you. Um, I think that there is much more that you are here to teach and to, yes, well, change is coming. Um, for you, Irsa, as an individual, to live your own life on your own path, as you are living your destiny and moving on your path up the mountain to spiritual enlightenment and fulfillment and soul growth, the people who belong in your sphere and who are vibrating with the same frequency as you, they will show up. You don't have to do anything to go get them. They're looking for you. So don't worry about that. All you have to worry about is moving yourself into that centered place where you are finding the joy in yourself and your experience, right? You're it's funny you say, I mean, I don't know you and we haven't had a face-to-face conversation, but when I see your name in my comments, when you say, oh, I'm going to be there, I am attracted to the energy that is Irsa, right? It's there's something lovely about, you're one of the reasons I'm doing Saturday mornings, because I know you were staying up till midnight, which was a very kind and appealing thing to me. So just a minute, challenge, um, pinnacle and challenge and subpath. So 8 and 5, 5 and 3. We have 8 and 5 is 4, 8 and 3 is 2, 6, 8. And then we do 3, 8 from 3, 5 is 2, is 2. Okay. So until you're 29, yeah, so this year you've been in an 8, right? Yes, and next year, so 2021, you're coming to the close of a cycle, and it is the close of a really, really big cycle that's been with you since birth. Oh, that's kind. Oh, how lovely that you would feel calm. I like that. That if all I can do in life is help somebody feel calm, then my life is good. Oh, Irsa, thank you. Thank you. Um, so the 7 and the 9, and you came on the 17th. You could have come a day earlier, a day later. You wouldn't have had that 7, right? But you chose to have it. So there's a really, really strong spiritual energy with you. There's whether that's showing up as psychic ability or as precognitive dreams or really good hunches and intuitions. Um, if it's, and especially if it's dreams, it's your spirit saying, here is your ability, here is this thing, please use it and develop it and work it. I tell clients that most of us are born with 2 arms. We don't all choose to become weightlifters, right? If you want to be a weightlifter, you've got to go to the gym and practice and learn and understand your physiology, and you've got to do stuff. Having the 7 and the 9, which you do, is a little bit like having the 2 arms. If you don't train and practice and learn, then you're not going to be able to fully make use of them. Does that make sense? But you have what it takes to develop the abilities to at least start looking for what it is that when I found numerology, I knew right away this was the thing that I was meant to do. It wasn't like learning it, it was like remembering it. So and someone like you, there is something, and whether that's, working with angels or with Reiki or with astrology, or there are so many different fields, and maybe you're a medium, I don't know. um, but there is a field where you can excel in a spiritual discipline, if you choose. You've got this lovely line, the 159 line. If you watch the video, I talked about it a lot earlier. But these we I have it too. We are the people who spent a lot of time looking for the path we were going to take, and did not slip into somebody else's groove, which I think when you ask a question like, what essentially your first question, I never ever got a proposal. You're asking, is there something wrong with me? And no, there totally isn't. The people around you knew that you had to grow into yourself before you were going to attract a life mate or a companion or a community to help you fulfill your wishes, right? So the energies that have been with you, you've had to be very practical in your early years. I don't know if like if you're an older sibling and you had to look after the little ones or something like that, that kind of practical requirement in your life. There has been you have a 3 challenge, which feels to me like maybe you were a little bit of a dreamer and a oh, you are completely lovable, Irsa. And remember always that the the love that is the source of all things, the in Christianity there's a saying that God is love, and that's nice. I believe that love is God. Everything comes from and is an expression of a universal love. And that's why what you want to do is to help humanity, because you are expressing love. You are the universe expressing itself. Um, there's yeah, I'm sorry that your relationship with your mother is difficult. I can understand that. You are totally lovable. Totally, totally lovable. That your mother has been unable to oh, you have this has been a really crap story, hasn't it? I'm so sorry that you've had those experiences. I really, really am. Um, Processing through it, crying the tears that need to be cried, connecting with that sorrow, and that there must be feelings of abandonment where he left you, he abandoned you. And those are very, very real emotions, and I'm not in any way trying to minimize those. And they are going to inform who you are. They're going to give you such a soft and caring heart when you see other people who are in that situation. There have been unlucky circumstances. You as an individual, you woke up this morning. That's not unlucky. You are having a day where you had busyness and you had things to occupy yourself, so that's not unlucky. And you're here now. I'm lucky. So there's on the other side of those really negative experiences, there are lessons that you can take, that you can turn into something that serves you and stays with you. You will never ever turn your back on somebody else who is feeling abandoned, because you know what that's like. And somebody who hasn't had that experience would process and relate with them very differently. So absolutely yes, it's horrible. It's really, really, obviously he was unpleasant. And I'm sorry that happened to you. And you do need to process through the grief and the loss. And when somebody that you're planning to spend your future with leaves you, and whatever the reason, whether they walk away or they marry someone else or they die or whatever they do, it's not just the loss of that person. It is the loss of the future that you had been envisioning, for yourself and for yourself with them, right? So there's a lot of grief, there's a lot of letting go, there's a lot of needing to release all the dreams, and then it feels so empty. And the work of refilling yourself takes time and it takes effort, and it's not something that you would have particularly put on your list of things you want to do in this life, except that clearly this is what your soul wanted to go through. Before you came into the human experience, you made a contract with this guy. Oh, oh, that's a deep hurt. I am so sorry, Irsa. I really, really am. I hope that you're able, that there's someone you can talk to, that you have a close friend or a sister or a therapist or a somebody that you can talk through this. And oh bless. Thank you. That is kind of you to share that with me. Um, and I can't tell, obviously, because of the nature of this technology, but if this is a time when you want to tell the story and cry, then grab the handkerchief and let it flow through and flow away, and it will flow away. It feels as though it's so enormous that there's no end to it, but I promise you, your body gets tired of crying. It has to stop. There's only so long the crying can go on. And there is a sense of relief afterwards. Oh, good. I'm glad you have somebody. That is really, really good. That is, yeah, tricky and difficult. Did this happen this year, Irsa? Is this a really recent thing? So glad that you're so this year, 92, 2, 12, 22, you'll be 30. So you're 28 right now. So your age number is a 3, which is, yes, always. Mm-hmm. The first love. Oh, okay. All right. So at the end of your 7 personal year, which is the year of teaching and learning, and it has been a lesson. So you've had 2020 has been your year. You're in an 8, right? Yes. So you are able to flow the difficulties of the human reality and the loss of that relationship that was so important to you and to your vision of the future. This year there is a flow of spirit within you and without you, and in your every breath, that says, yes, of course your physical reality is real, and here is spirit replenishing you and renewing you and reminding you that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And once this human experience is over, you will still be a spiritual being, and you will be expanded by what has happened in the course of this time. So this person who came, who altered your vision of the future and then just left you flat, has changed how you respond to physical life. And if you can work through the physical emotions and work through the pain and the difficulty, and cry it out and scream it out and beat your mattress and whatever it takes to get through that, you're totally, absolutely, thoroughly entitled to all of those feelings. They're very real and they're very true. And they will pass when you work with them. And then you can move on to recognizing how your capacity to care and understand other people has been expanded through that process. And you maybe aren't there yet, and that's all right. It doesn't have to happen in a week, and it doesn't happen in a week. It's been a year this month. You have all of 2021, you have 9 energy, which is again spirit, enormously spiritual energy, showing you and revealing for you how everything is connected. It's that holistic energy where all things, it contains all the other energies. So and it brings you to conclusions and completions. So during the 9 year, your 9 year next year, which is very soon, like 5 weeks away or 6 weeks away, we're going to go into that energy, and you will be able to sort of tie it up in a ribbon, this experience. Yes, of course it's painful. Absolutely it's painful. That is it, cannot be denied and should not be denied. And when we try to suppress pain, when we it's kind of like trying to not sneeze, right? There's only so long that you can hold it back. And if you hold it back beyond its time, it can hurt you, right? Sneezes have to come out, and pain has to be expressed and acknowledged and soothed and calmed and given its identity, and then you can move past it. But if you spend all of your time going, I don't feel pain. I'm going to focus on this pain that I don't want to feel, and I'm not going to acknowledge it, and I'm going to pretend it's not there because it's so painful. And all that does is put your energy into pain again. Allow it to be. Yes, I feel pain. Good Lord, it is horrible. I'm going to put an ice pack on it, and I am going to feel it and treat it and allow it to go through its process. And you will find one day you forget to put the ice pack on because, oh, you didn't feel the pain, right? Do you understand me? Am I making any sense? We we you you are changed by what happened, and you can choose to, I mean, if you really want to, you can go and hide behind your chair and just sit and wither away and not do anything with it. Or you can bring it out in the light, you can share it with me, you can talk to your teacher about it, you can put it on the table and see how, yes, it hurts, and yes, it makes me sad, and yes, I've lost this whole future that I had planned and thought about. And now I'm going to take this and oh, thank you, Irsa. I'm so so glad. I am gonna have to go soon because I do have I do have other plans. Um, but yes, if this is you hate love and you don't trust, well, not trusting is a logical consequence of an event like that. And ultimately, that's okay. Are you familiar with the saying that the bird on a branch does not worry about the branch breaking because it trusts itself to spread its wings and fly? So everything comes back to Irsa getting centered and getting settled and knowing that you can trust yourself, that you won't give yourself away to somebody who will stomp on your heart, and that if they do, you will survive. Irsa is fully capable of working through whatever happens. Right now, certainly be gentle to yourself and be of course, of course, of course, and learn how lovely is that face in the mirror. That person who is with you every day and will be with you for the rest of your life and indeed for all eternity. See how that face is lovable and is loving, and and find a way to 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 be settled, to know that you can trust Irsa can trust you, that you can give yourself the mothering that your mom wasn't able to give you, that you can. And as we're going forward, we're coming to the end of this cycle, right? We're the 9 year in 2021 is going to draw a line under a whole lot of stuff, and you're going to move into some lovely expansive energy with new and nurturing relationships. And yes, don't be hard on yourself because you are beautiful and you are lovely. Okay. um there's there is hope, and there is love for you, and there is acceptance, and there is growth. Right now, if it feels like crap, then work through it. You can journal. You can that's all right. I guess you needed somebody to talk to today. um we will I am gonna have to go. However, yes, there is. I wish you only good things, and I yeah, I will trust you to take a baby step and move towards cutting Irsa a break and knowing that Irsa is on the right path and is doing the right things, and that it's going to work out in a way that serves Irsa. Okay, I'm going to go. I am delighted that you got here. I'm sorry you were late, and I guess it's good we got this time together, just the two of us. All right, thank you. Have a wonderful week. I will be back Friday at 2 and Saturday at 9:30 Eastern Time Zone, and I will just send you lots of good vibes for Irsa and anybody who has sat through my session with Irsa. All right. Thank you. Namaste. You bless.